Yeah. I was just looking for that seat. Right. Uh-huh. That place that you sit every day. It seemed like somebody's been making a lot of judgments without any authority of law. And for some reason you thought obstructing my right to sue you for that. Yeah. I actually do have that right, and I'm going to want to use the court system of the United States. Yeah. Then I'm going to look at what you've been teaching my sons. Oh. And if you didn't teach them the real truth, yeah, you'll get sued. Now, we don't have to teach sex education from the homosexual viewpoint, do we? I mean, 96% of the population's heterosexual, right? And as long as you teach the truth, that's all I'm concerned about. You're not indoctrinating people about this idea of homosexuality, are you? Now, even if it were the 90%, the 10% being a minority, we're all supposed to, excuse me, yeah. Why don't you get me the sex education of America's schools? I just want to know, did you tell them that they could get pregnant any time of the month? Yes. Did you explain the various types of contraceptives and that the pill is not an absolute necessity? Ooch. Did you instruct them about what they should expect with their... Well, I'm just going to want to look at what my sons have been learning because I told you they were in the wrong grades and you decided you were going to cover up your crime. I said I wanted them out of that school, yes. And you decided that as a father I had no rights, ooch, because a corrupt judiciary decided to issue a dissolution of marriage where I didn't get a copy of it. Now, I'm looking, Colossae 4:13, yes. For I bear record that he hath a great zeal for you, and them that are in Laodicea, and them in Hierapolis. Oh, I'm in the wrong. No, I'm in the right book. 4:13. Yes. Epaphras, servant, Christ saluteth you, always laboring fervently for you in prayers, stand perfect, complete in the will of God. Now, for some reason that didn't. It has a definition of seat, but I'm actually looking for the word seat, and I'm a little upset that I didn't get it. Yes. Now, these seats, yes, where you sit every day. Where'd you get that? I know. Your desk, yes, where you're making all these big decisions for those that are actual citizens of the United States, right? Where you have your, well, I'm going to want it. I'm going to want your actual seat. I know that the government has a lot of seats, and when you start thinking that the educated population's too stupid to understand what's good for their own children, yeah. And then you think, well, there are no personal exemptions, yes. That only the religious nut jobs that you identify, yes, are the only ones that are doing it because their religion won't allow for it, yeah. I have a real difficulty with a government that doesn't think that an education has any meaning. Now, there's a mercy seat, yes. A seat in a hard place, yeah. And a seat of covetousness. The money changers who had seats and tables in the temples. Oh, chief seats of the Jewish culture. Yes. Oh, oh no, it broke again. Yeah. Now I told you don't ever read the Bible like this because um there was this guy named Saul. Yes, and he upset everybody. Yes, yes, he did. But Saul increased the more in strength and confounded the Jews which dwelt at Damascus, proving that this is very Christ. And after that many days were fulfilled, the Jews took counsel to kill him. Now, of those that I'm going to sue, how many of you decided to kill me again? Pope. Why don't you give me the seats of those that are oaths, badges, and attorneys, and the school districts that think that parents are too stupid to know what's good for their own children? And then the actual vaccination records, yes. And then those that I'm going to sue because I think my education was of some value, and it wasn't that I paid $75,000 for it. No, it's what happened from the time I was 25 to 30 years old. See, I was a fully matured man brain when I went to college or university. Yes. Mm. Maybe we should disallow any person under the age of 25 being able to go to university because they're not a mature male or female. They don't know. They're still maturing from 18 to 25. And all of you that went from high school, yeah, approximately 17 and a half years old, that should have been when you were graduating. Yes. And then you got an 8-year degree. Yes. You were a fully matured male and female at the time of your graduation at 26 years old. And you spent all that time on a university campus. You know, when I went to Northwest, they said there was a cocoon effect of those that are in colleges and universities. Yes. They get very caught up in the dynamics of higher education. And when we allow America's parents, yes, to go to university without being over the age of 25, so they're mature, they're able to really check, yes, the actual education that's being provided. Now, at 20 years old, you thought, I know everything. I'm an adult. I can smoke. I can buy pornography. Yes. I could enlist in the military. Right, right, right. But until 25, you're really not mature enough to look at somebody and say, well, you know what you're teaching? Yeah, total fucking bullshit. Now, there's a difference between an education and an indoctrination. Pow. Why don't you give me the ages of every PhD in government today? That when was it that they went to college and university, and how old were they when they got their academic degree? Pooh! Because you could be the byproduct, yes, of the effect of spending most of your life in academia, where everybody's smart, isn't that right? And then you got a job in government when you graduated. Yes, being that fully male and female matured adults. Well, you spent the maturing years of 18 to 25 being cocooned, groomed as it are. Now, let's say you're absolutely sure that spending that 8 years at a university was what made you who you are as a mature man or woman. Yes. For every doctor that went from high school right to medical school, got that general, whatever it is, yes, MD, medical doctor. And when you got out, you said, well, shoot, I got a good profession. I'm well on my way, and I should be making the decisions for the rest of the population that somehow they made it to being mature male and females. Oh, is that right? Yeah. They might have graduated from high school, got pregnant, had kids. Yes. They're total fucking idiots when it involves exact.